Hi, I'm Jen Smith. Welcome back to Launch Your Rocket. Today we are going to break some chains. We are going to break free of the label that has been holding you down. Come on, we were meant to launch, to soar, to overflow, but we've got something weighing us down, and it's our label. You're going to want to stay for this one. Labels, they define you, they control you, they choke you, or they unleash you. The world wants to keep us small and tell us what our labels are, but God, He wants us to soar. He's already defined you for greatness, abundance, and for overwhelming joy. So the question is, whose label are you living under and believing? Imagine you walk into a store and every item has a price tag, and some things are cheap and some things, they're priceless. But someone comes along and suddenly just starts switching the tags on things, and what was junk looks valuable and what's valuable looks like junk. That's kind of what the world does with our labels. It swaps our worth, and before you know it, we start believing the wrong tag belongs to you. You're valuable. So let's see, what does our label tell us? It tells us who you are, what you can and can't do, and what your limits are. So what is your label telling you? You're shy. You're not, good with money. You're not a leader. You always procrastinate. You're always late. Those are lies. And the problem is maybe you started believing it. And once you accept a label, it becomes your story. And once you have a story, you live the narrative. The brain always wants to prove itself right. It's the power of identity. The most powerful force in your life is your identity. Who you believe you are shapes everything. It shapes your habits, your decisions, and your future. Here's the catch. Most of us defined ourselves a long time ago. I can't do that. I'm not one of those people. That's just not who I am. I don't believe in that. And who told you that? Because when your identity doesn't align with your goals, you end up self-sabotaging. Maybe you've done this. I have. You set a goal. You start strong. But the moment you get scared or afraid of what people are going to think, you hesitate. You procrastinate. And after you've done that a few times, you don't just feel like a procrastinator. You become one. Now, instead of chasing dreams, you're protecting your identity because you don't want to feel bad. And you start saying, I'm just a procrastinator. It's your identity. You don't want to feel bad, so you stay in the story that keeps you safe. But here's the truth. Your identity is not set in stone. Your past labels do not define your future. You have the power to change the story that you're living. All right, so how do we break free? Well, step one, we destroy the label. You've got to stop agreeing with the lies. Stop saying, I'm just not that kind of person, or I've always been this way. Stop saying, this is just who I am. God knows who you are, and you were made for so much. Your labels are not truth. They're lies. Your identity is not fluid. It can change. And when you start to discover who you're rooted in and who created you and who you really are, you start breaking chains and soaring. You're like a rocket that lifts off. So many people are seeking in self-help and everywhere. I'm stuck. You've just been living a story that someone else wrote for you. And it's the world. They tell us what is good, what is popular, what is famous, what is success. You've been living under the world's identity, and God made you for so much more. Pardon the interruption, but I want to invite you to a free masterclass on October 23rd. Does this sound like you? Maybe life shifted and you feel a little stuck. The spark is gone. You check the boxes. Maybe you even have everything you thought you ever wanted, but you're still unfulfilled. And you're wondering, is this all there is? Wasn't I made for more? And the answer is yes. Imagine waking up with a fire in your soul, a purpose in your step, and dream in hand. All because you became the person that God designed you to be. The world needs that light right now, and that's why I created Elevate. It's a blueprint unlike anything you've ever seen before. I'm going to show you how to reignite your dream. We'll discover your why. The fire that makes you unstoppable will shift from worldly to godly thinking. So we stop chasing and we start attracting. We'll find your niche, the gift placed inside of you that makes you unique. We'll set one big goal, and we'll go from drifting to thriving with clear direction. This is my purpose, and that's why I'm so excited about it. I hope you'll join me for this masterclass, October 23rd. Let's go from stuck to unstoppable, from lack to overflow. Really hope you'll join me. 1 hour free masterclass. I'll see you there. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Yeah, we've kind of been living a story that somebody else wrote, but it's time that we take back the pen and we become the author of our story. How do we do that? First, we have to know, what does God say about me? Who does he say I am? And then you have to think about, what is the person that you want to be say that you are? Really think about that one. That's a little tricky. What is the person that you want to be say that you are? Who do you want to be? I want to be someone who radiates light. And if you're somebody who wants abundance and peace, it's all the same. We want all of those things, and you get them by radiating God's light. You attract that life of joy, peace, and abundance. So what is the person that you want to be say about this? And what if we just started speaking truth, what God says about you and what you say about you over yourself all the time, and just denying the lies of the world, that you're not good enough, that you're jealous, that you're angry, that you're bitter, that you're lonely, that you're tired, that you're depressed, that you're just a procrastinator, that you're just not that good at that, you're not smart enough. I mean, come on, we can go on and on. She's smarter, he's smarter, they're faster, they have more money, right? These are the lies. What if we started reprogramming our minds and flooding with all the things that are true, that we are loving and giving, and our potential is tremendous, and God wants amazing things for us, and we have the power of God in us to do anything we want and be anything we want. You have to start shifting and knowing who you are and whose you are. Wow, what a shift. You talk about breaking chains. Get rid of the world's identity and start living in God's identity for you and who you are. That is when you launch your life or launch your rocket. All right, come on, that's my whole brand, right? Yeah, that's it right there in a nutshell. And let me tell you something. You cannot rewrite the story if you keep rereading the old one. You have to change. Do what you've always done and you'll get what you've always gotten. You have to change. Stop reading the old story and start reading the new one. All right, you're like, okay, this all sounds great, but I'm so new. I'm just learning. I'm just considering a shift in my heart and in my life and changing my identity. And I do want to be that person. I am not what the world thinks, but I don't really fully believe it or understand it yet. That's okay. Do this. Act as if you already are that person. Act as if you are walking in the light. Act as if you are capable of anything because God lives in you. Act as if you are that person. Yeah, you will become, because as a man think in his heart, so is he. Yeah, it's all over the Bible. But what you think about, you bring about, you will attract it all to you. Just start acting as if that is who you are. And all of a sudden, the world will start acting like who you are, not who they are trying to shape you to be. Are you seeing it? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is so liberating. This is so freeing. This is breaking every chain. Come on. How can you not want to walk in the light and break free of these labels that the world puts on you? They're lies. Wake up and see it. You are so much. And I know if I bet you just for a little bit of time, I would see what God sees in you, what he put in you, who you are. I'll help you find that label or that identity, because I see the greatness that God put in everybody. Everybody. Those who are Sister Mary Snowflake and those who are really doing some things that probably aren't so good. Everybody has greatness in them. All right, you got it. You're like, we got it, Jen. So act as if you already are that. And it's funny, when you start showing up as the person you want to be, you start making decisions like the person you're becoming, and that shifts everything. I mean, doesn't that make such simple sense? Start walking in the truth that God already declared over you. When you shift your actions, you're going to shape your identity. When you shift your identity, well, your entire life follows. The choice is yours. You can stay in the box that the world puts us in. It does it to all of us. Nobody is exempt. Or you can step into the identity that you were created for. You are not your past. You are not even your limitations. You are certainly not your labels. You are who God says you are. And when you start believing that, oh gosh, I wish you could feel it through the whatever you're watching me on, because you start believing that and everything changes. Listen, you already know all of this deep down. You do. The world will hand you a label and they'll try to sell you peace while keeping you chained to that label. That's what self-help does. That's the let them theory. This is the love them theory. You'll read the books, you'll say the affirmations, follow the trends, high five yourself in the mirror, and you're still gonna feel like something's missing, or you look good in the mirror, but you're crying in the shower, because no label the world gives you can ever fill what only God defines. You are not who the world says you are. You are who He says you are. So maybe it's time to stop fighting the label. This is what I do inside of a course that I just came out with. It's called Elevate. We peel off the labels, we rewrite your story, we align your life with who God says you already are, we set some goals, and we launch your life. We don't just talk about it, we actually do it. I hope you'll join me there. Just go to launchyourrocket.com. The course is called Elevate. Otherwise, I'm here twice a week. I do a podcast. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Spotify. I'm on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. I'm putting myself out there in all different places, because you heard me say it before. This is my mission. This is my calling. God has had this on my heart my entire life, when the time was right to help people launch their lives, break the chains. And that's what we do in the course Elevate. I also want to mention I have a course, it's a free course called Bible 101. You have to watch it. It's free. Go to my website, launchyourrocket.com, B101. It's so simple. It meets you where you're at. Who is this guy? God and Jesus. Why do I want to follow him? What could he do for me? Those are fair questions. It's okay to have those questions. I have that on B101. Who is he? How do you even read this if you wanted to? So I'd love you to take that as well. Whatever it is, I really hope God aligns you and me and we start working together. I'm really grateful you're here. All right, that's it for today on Launch Your Rocket. Thank you so much for coming. I am truly grateful you're here.